Bassirou Faye was born on 25th March 1980. He is a Senegalese politician and former tax inspector who has served as the fifth and current president of Senegal since 2024. He is the General Secretary of the Ban Party, who won the 2024 Senegalese presidential election in place of disqualified candidate OUSMANE SONKO, whom he later appointed as Prime Minister of Senegal. Faye was born on 25th March 1980 in Ndiagonia in the Western Department of Mbor, Senegal. He is a member of the Sera ethnic group from the noble Faye family. Having had a traditional village upbringing, he has always claimed his rural origins and imbued himself with educational and social values typical of his land, Ndiagonia, in Sera country. His father, Samba Faye, is a long-time member of the Socialist Party of Senegal. He's quoted with saying that his son grew up with left-wing ideals. His grandfather fought for France during World War I as a Senegalese Australia and later was jailed following a dispute with French colonial authorities over his efforts to establish a district high school in Ndiagonia, which Faye later attended. Faye attended Marie Mediatrix Catholic School. He later attended Lycée Demba Diop in Mbor, where he graduated in 2000. Faye went on to obtain a master's degree in law from University Cheikh Anta Diop of Dakar. He then attended the National School of Administration of Senegal, also in Dakar, where he trained to be a tax inspector. Faye met OUSMANE SONKO, also a tax inspector at work, who had founded PASTEF and at the time was leading a trade union, the Autonomous Union of Tax and Domain Agents, which Faye joined. In 2014, Faye and Sonko's relationship grew closer in the Taxes and Estate Union created by SONKO, the leader of the newly founded political party. During his time at the head of the union, Faye campaigned to facilitate home ownership for tax and property agents. In 2014, SONKO formed a political party, African Patriots of Senegal, of Labour, Ethics and Fraternity, PASTF. Faye also joined PASTEF, eventually rising to the executive leadership level. In Senegal's 2019 presidential election, SONKO, representing PASTEF, placed third, while the incumbent Macky Sall was re-elected. Despite losing the election, SONKO proved to be a popular opposition figure in the country. In the following years, however, he faced legal charges that he and his supporters maintained were politically motivated. He was arrested in 2021, after which Faye became Secretary General of PASTEF. In April 2023, Faye himself was arrested and jailed on charges of defaming magistrates and contempt of courts, stemming from his comments about magistrates' behavior in some of SONKO's legal proceedings. On July 31st, the government dissolved PASTEF, alleging that the party had held violent protests earlier that year and also in 2021. Nevertheless, PASTEF leadership prepared for the country's 2024 presidential election. There were concerns that SONKO, who had since been convicted of crimes, would not be allowed to be candidate, and plans were made to choose another senior party member to stand for the presidency. Though Faye was still in jail, he was selected with SONKO's support to stand as an independent candidate in the February 25th election if SONKO was not able to do so. In January 2024, SONKO was indeed confirmed as being disqualified by the Constitutional Council. The 2024 presidential election was not held as scheduled. However, on February 3rd, President Sall announced that it will be postponed, likely to resolve a dispute regarding and the disqualification of some presidential candidates by the Constitutional Council the previous month. though critics accused Sall of attempting to stay in office past his mandate. The announcement and subsequent approval by the National Assembly for the election to be held in December, with Sall extending his term as president in the interim, led to several protests by the opposition as well as criticism from international organizations and other countries. On March 6th, the National Assembly passed an amnesty law that affected jailed oppositions, members and protesters. Under the law, Faye and SONKO were released from jail on March 14th. They quickly hit the campaign trail together. Faye campaigned on the promise to tackle corruption. He also said he would seek monetary reforms and renegotiate contracts for the country's lucrative natural resources. And he criticized the country's slate of Senegalese leaders. These messages were well received among young voters, who, in a country where more than 3/5 of the population was under the age of 30, would be crucial in his pursuit of winning the election. He also picked up the support of many other political parties. When the March 25th election was held, Faye was one of a crowded field of 19 candidates, with no clear front runners. As such, most assumed that no one would win the requisite more than 50% of votes and a second round would be needed. After the polls closed, however, it quickly became apparent that Faye was on track to garner more than 50% of the vote, thus winning the election outright. Within 24 hours, other candidates conceded the election to him on the basis of the preliminary and incomplete results. Official provisional results released on March 27, 2024 showed that Faye won 54.28% of the vote. On March 29th, the Constitutional Council confirmed the result, and on April 2nd, Faye was inaugurated as the youngest president in Senegal's history. He appointed SONKO as prime minister on the same day. Faye and SONKO soon set to work in trying to fulfill Faye's campaign promises, but met with resistance in the National Assembly, where the Passive Party and its allies only held about 1/3 of the seats. On September 12th, Faye dissolved the assembly and called for early legislative elections in the hope that his Passive Party would be able to secure a majority in the body.